Hello, welcome to the grit culture. So Cardi B, she's getting backlash right now. Guess a video went viral of her dancing to her hit song WAP. Y'all heard me talk, if you're familiar with anything on this channel, for the few that follow, I talked about my whole views on how that song was received, and kind of the hypocrisy and where it all comes from. I talked about that. Check that out. It's probably about a few months ago. But she was just receiving backlash because in this viral video that just recently came out, she's dancing to the song WAP. Now, I've only seen this clip. I don't know if it was done maybe purposefully. I don't know if it was part of, she was live or anything. But anywho, the focus is on this one moment where, as she's dancing to the song, her daughter, who she has with Offset of the Migos, her daughter Culture comes running in. And Cardi B immediately shuts the song off, stops dancing and shuts the song off. And so the reception to that has been, well, Cardi B puts out these songs and she sells these songs and suggestive lyrics. She sells it to our children, but won't allow her child to hear that type of content. Cardi B spoke on it. Cardi B says she makes her music specifically for adults. It's not for children. I just don't understand where the disconnect is at. I don't understand where that's hard to understand. I mean, it's that simple. She makes it for adults. A lot of the backlash comes from self-accountability. Because y'all probably sitting around dancing with your kids, letting your kids listen to WAP. Yeah, it's not always cut and dry. It's not always, that easy. There's so many avenues how to get a hold of these different music, and you got the YouTubes and the different radio playlists like Pandora, and just all type of different ways they can hear it on TikTok. But the goal is always prevention. It's to prevent these things. Nothing's ever going to be perfect, but if you prevent it and you apply pushback at every opportunity, it at least ingrains that into the child's mind. But what you see most of the times is somebody's mama out twerking in front of the kid, or like many recent videos, you got the little kids, the mom, the woman, I don't know if she was the babysitter or whatnot, but in there in the bathroom with 4 or 5 young boys twerking her ass while they slapping it, while they behind her slapping her ass. And it just doesn't apply to women. It's the suggestive content of the males also. It's enough to share around. Just rappers in general. They talking about bitch this, hold that, shoot this up. You got rappers talking about consistently talking about shooting up somebody's mama's house. I mean, y'all listen to it right in front of your kids. Like I said, they have many avenues to get these things, but they also have avenues for you to monitor your children online. But a lot of y'all want to be your kids' friends. A lot of people let their kids dictate how the house is ran nowadays. Because a lot of these parents are child-minded themselves. You too busy, you don't want to get on the kids' bad side. Not realizing that as a youth, the younger they are, the easier their minds are able to be molded. The easier their minds are able to adapt to certain things. So when they start getting older, start hitting teenage years and, you know, stuff like that is where it starts getting hard. But if you put down the discipline and tell them what's right or wrong and what you'll accept as a parent, the child will mold to that. Yeah, they won't like it, but they'll mold to that. So it's not her fault. Stop putting the blame on Cardi B. Cardi B's just trying to get $1. As bad as that sounds. Now, we do know that the music industry is being utilized by corporate markets to sell to the children. Yes, that is very true. And they use the brainwashing. They use certain things. They use, you know, they try to make a lot of these things, especially in Cardi B's case, they try to make a lot of these things as if it's acceptable, you know, as far as making it, you know, woman empowerment. And they did the same thing with rap, you know, before, you know. Remember, Uncle Luke fought when the FCC tried to shut him down from being able to say the things he said. He fought that in court for free speech. The ability to say anything you want to say on a record. So you gotta understand there's consequences that come with different actions. There's consequences that come with freedom. With great power becomes great responsibility, as what the great Spider-Man saying, as they say on there, Uncle Ben. There's responsibility that comes with liberty, responsibility that comes with freedom. Understand, everything has a residual effect. So yeah, they indirectly market it to the kids by getting through the parents and bombarding them with just, you know, there's no real balance in anything. There's no real balance in music. They just giving you just the filth 24/7. I got a problem with, you know, that. It's just when that's the only side that's being portrayed. I mean, you can see where it all goes wrong. But I'm all for a capitalist system, not corporatism, what people get it confused with. I'm all for capitalism, though. There's no moral base in capitalism. So she's gonna go out and get her $1. I like to, you know, I like to live by a moral code, but I choose that. I utilize capitalism with a moral code, but there is none when it comes to that. So she's gonna do what she has to do to get $1 and feed her family, like many people are. It's a mutual agreement. Somebody chose to listen to the music. Somebody chose to buy the music. You know? It's not the same. It's understood. It's not against their will. It's nothing done against their will. That'd be one thing. But when you have options, you're able to control. You're able to say, I accept this. I don't want to hear this. People are able to control the market as a whole. when there's a market and there's a demand for it, or not even a demand, but there's acceptance of it. That means people are consuming what's being put out there. Hell, why not? Why not make $1? Everybody's trying to get $1. So why not? Most people don't believe in spiritual and, different things like that. They don't believe they have any code that they have to adhere to. It's just get money, get money, get money. And isn't that what's it's always been preached? All about the dollar. So Cardi B's gonna get hers. There's buyers, she's gonna sell it. Because it gets, when you start talking about those different things and start trying to cut people off and saying, oh, they shouldn't do this and do this and that, it becomes a gray area. You got to start applying that to everything else. You can talk about the drug, you could talk about that pertaining to the drug dealer. But then what about, your local restaurants where they're serving foods that are going to lead to sickness and lead you to have the consistent trips to the doctor, which is in turn putting more of a burden on the healthcare system. But it's not something that's being direct. It's not something you're being forced to do. It's what you know. And even when the information is given to you, the majority choose to continue to make the decisions that they make. So it becomes a whole gray area. When you're bringing morality into the picture of things that are mutual agreements. So she gonna do what she do. It's good parenting in my eyes. In that instance, I don't know what goes on within that household, but looks like good parenting to me. Looks like good parenting, prevention. Now, like I said, will that keep Coach? Maybe other aspects. She'll see different things. Behaviors that may not be able to shield the daughter from diving into a certain lifestyle. Who knows? We're not in that lifestyle. We're not in their life. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but I can tell you what's shown and what's portrayed right there within that little few seconds of footage. Self-control that most parents should be showing. It's not on her. So stop looking at somebody else to blame your shortcomings on and handle your business. I'll see y'all later.